On to this story now. The monthly BankServ take-home pay index, an indicator of underlying economic trends in the South African economy. The take-home pay index recovered marginally in August as salaries data continue to suggest some more job creation according to this late index. That actually came out today. Elize Kruger is an independent economist and joins us now to take stock of this new numbers. Elize, thank you very much for your time. Looking at these numbers, this index does suggest that consumers' average earnings every month are becoming under pressure, as we know, due to a number of factors. What is it telling us in terms of how we are doing, those who are lucky enough to have jobs?
Yes, indeed. On a nominal basis, we've actually seen a small uptick in the nominal average take-home pay in August. But, however, if we compare to a year ago, that's still a 1% lower compared to a year ago. And also compared to just as recent as February, we've seen a drop down, a moderation in the average nominal salary.
Last month, we saw the transaction index also slowing down when it comes to the third quarter. This take-home pay index, what does it say about the middle class in South Africa? The average take-home pay that is there. I saw figures suggesting somewhere the nominal pay being just above 14,000 rands.
Yes, it's in the order of 14,700 in nominal terms. I think what it really means for us, especially if we look at the real salary, which has been dropping by about 8% on an annual basis, that shows you that, this average salary has not kept up with inflation. And therefore, the higher cost of living is really eating into the disposable income of households, eroding purchasing power, making it more difficult for households to make ends meet and to get to all, to make their budgets work. So there's a lot of pressure out there, which I think we did see in the numbers. What is a slight positive, though, is the fact that we also have seen the number of salaries again increasing somewhat in August compared to July. So indicative of more job opportunities, although the pace of new job creation definitely came down in July and in August, there has been, again, an uptick in the number of salaries. And I think from that point of view, one should say that's a small positive.
Elize, another point of importance is the private pensions index. What exactly are they measuring here? Because we see these indices come out on a monthly and annual basis. What are we measuring here, and what do we know about how private pensions are doing in South Africa when you look at the data from August?
Yes, that is quite an interesting trend that we've been observing from private pensions. So here, BankServ basically takes the total value of all pension payments into accounts of retired people divided by the numbers. So it's an average. And it shows that it has actually kept up well compared to inflation. It has been increasing on a nominal basis, and actually 3 months ago it breached the 10,000 rand level for the first time, and it's been keeping above that level now 3 consecutive months. And also, if you take into consideration inflation that's been rising quite rapidly, still we've seen small increases in real terms. So that is quite a positive trend compared to what we see on salaries. And it's we are debating, what are behind this sort of resilience in the pension fund side, or pension payment side. And there's quite a couple of, potential reasons that we want to investigate further. On the one hand, one could perhaps look at how the pension fund managers, have performed over time. So one does get the impression that hopefully the investments were hedged against inflation and that therefore there can still be payouts that beats inflation. And on the other hand, it could also be a combination with maybe more withdrawals where people maybe ask, where they have the option to ask for bigger payouts just to keep people, to make ends meet during this difficult time period. So we're not quite sure exactly what is the driving forces behind this resilience. But it's indeed good news for our pensioners out there, showing that pension payments have been keeping up with inflation.
Elize Kruger is an independent economist talking to us this afternoon about the BankServ take-home pay index when it comes to pensions that are quite resilient, but take-home pay, those salaries under a lot of pressure.